Hey everyone, and welcome back. This time, we're diving deep into James Allen's As a Man Thinketh.
Oh, a classic.
Yeah, published back in 1903, believe it or not.
Wow, over a century ago.
But the ideas in this book, they're so powerful and so relevant even today.
Absolutely. The way Alan connects thoughts to, character, health, success, even destiny.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever just stopped and thought, how much do my thoughts actually shape my life?
It's a deep question.
And that's what we're going to be exploring today.
It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, I think so too.
One of the things that makes Alan's work so compelling is the way he uses these vivid analogies and almost like stories
Oh, yeah.
to make these profound concepts really click.
Yeah, like that one about the mind being a garden.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's so simple, but it completely changes how you think about your thoughts, doesn't it?
It really does.
So he says, our thoughts are like seeds, right?
Okay.
We can choose to plant beautiful flowers or let the weeds just run wild.
And what's brilliant is it goes beyond just thinking positive thoughts.
Right.
It's about actively tending to your mental garden.
Yeah.
Like, what are you feeding your mind? What are you weeding out?
That's a great point, right? Like, what are some of the weeds that might be holding us back?
Fear, maybe.
Self-doubt.
All that negativity, right?
Yeah.
And then what are the flowers that we want to cultivate more of?
Courage, kindness.
Determination.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
It's a really powerful image, and it leads right into one of Alan's most thought-provoking ideas,
Okay.
which is that our outer circumstances are actually a reflection of our inner world.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically saying we're not just victims of circumstance.
Yeah.
Our thoughts actually create our reality.
Now, I know that can sound a little bit like blaming the victim,
Right, yeah.
but that's not what he's saying at all.
No.
He's not saying that everything that happens to you is your fault.
But he is saying that there's this deep connection
Yeah.
between what you think and what you experience.
And he uses these really compelling examples to illustrate it.
Oh, yeah?
Like the one about the man who's so consumed by his poverty that he ends up deceiving his employer.
Right.
It's not that, being poor made him dishonest. It's that his thoughts about being poor led him to make choices that were out of alignment with his true character.
Exactly. And then there's the wealthy man who's so obsessed with overindulging,
Oh.
even though it's ruining his health.
Yeah.
Again, it's not that wealth made him gluttonous.
Right.
It's that his thoughts were focused on excess.
Yeah.
And his actions reflected that.
I see.
And what about the employer who's so fixated on maximizing profits that he cuts his employees' wages,
Right.
ultimately hurting his business in the long run?
All these examples really drive home Alan's point, which is that instead of trying to force our circumstances to change,
Yeah.
which he compares to like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic,
Well, like that.
we should focus on shifting our inner world.
Yeah,
It's like creating fertile ground for the reality we want to experience.
I love that.
So,
So the question is,
yeah.
are there any areas in your life right now where this principle might be at play?
Right.
Are you stuck in a pattern of thinking
Yeah.
that's actually contributing to the very circumstances you want to change?
That's a question we all need to ask ourselves, and it takes real honesty
Yeah, it does.
to face the answer. But once you see that connection between your thoughts and your reality, it's incredibly empowering.
Absolutely. And this deep dive into the power of thought goes even deeper.
Deeper.
Yeah, Alan doesn't stop at our circumstances.
Okay.
He also explores the profound impact our thoughts have on our health.
That's where the mind-body connection really comes into play.
He actually says that thoughts of fear, anxiety, and negativity can actually manifest as physical illness.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he actually says they poison the body, like slowly chipping away at your well-being. It is. And conversely, cultivating thoughts of joy, peace, goodwill actually contribute to health and vitality,
Okay.
like nourishing your body from the inside out.
Interesting.
He even tells this story about a 96-year-old woman
Okay.
with this youthful face,
Okay.
and he attributes it to her consistently positive outlook on life,
Wow.
and then to really bring home the contrast.
Okay.
He talks about a middle-aged man whose face is just etched with worry lines.
Oh, I see.
The difference is striking, and Alan argues that it's a direct reflection of their inner states.
Wow. So our inner climate
Yeah.
really matters.
It makes you stop and think, what kind of inner climate are you cultivating?
That's a good question.
Is it a breeding ground for stress and disease, or is it a garden where well-being can flourish?
It's a powerful question.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's suggesting we have way more control over our health than we think.
Yeah.
And it all starts with our thoughts.
It's amazing how much ground Alan covers in this little book.
I know, right?
And it's all connected too.
Yeah.
He's not just jumping from one random idea to the next.
Right.
There's a real flow to his thinking.
I see.
Like how this idea of the mind as a garden leads into the connection between thoughts and circumstances,
Oh,
which then leads into the impact of thought on health.
I am following.
And it all builds on this idea that we have this incredible power to shape our lives through our thoughts.
So it's almost like a quest. And
Yeah.
he's inviting us to join him on this journey of self-discovery.
Exactly. And speaking of journeys, Alan also talks about the importance of aligning our thoughts with a clear purpose
Okay.
if we want to achieve something truly meaningful.
So having a goal in mind.
Yeah, he says that aimless drifting is like setting sail without a destination.
Oh,
You just end up lost at sea.
he's not just talking about material success, is he?
No, this applies to any area of life where you want to grow and evolve.
Oh, I see.
So your career, your relationships, personal development,
Makes sense.
it all starts with a clear purpose.
Okay, so what's the first step?
So he lays out these steps.
Okay.
First, you need to conceive a purpose.
Okay.
Then you focus your thoughts on it, making it your supreme duty, as he puts it.
Sounds intense.
And then, of course, you have to persevere, even when you encounter setbacks, because let's face it,
Yeah.
the path to achieving anything worthwhile is rarely a straight line,
It's more like a winding mountain trail.
with plenty of twists and turns.
Right.
But Alan believes that in those moments of challenge, when we're tempted to give up,
Yeah.
that's when our true character is revealed.
Makes sense.
And what's so fascinating is that he believes these principles apply to both our worldly aspirations and our spiritual growth.
Interesting.
So whether you're aiming for career success or spiritual enlightenment, the underlying process is the same.
Nice.
It all comes back to the power of focused thought.
Okay, so I'm curious,
Yeah.
what purpose is calling to you right now?
That's a good question.
Yeah, what's that one thing you really want to achieve in your life? And how can you start aligning your thoughts with that goal?
That's a powerful question to reflect on, isn't it?
It really is, and it's just the beginning of the journey because Alan's message gets even more powerful when he starts talking about visions and ideals.
Oh, yeah, right? He says, dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become.
That's a powerful statement.
It's like he's saying that our thoughts have the power to create our future.
And he backs it up with examples of visionaries throughout history, people like Columbus, Copernicus, Buddha,
Right?
all of whom dared to imagine something beyond the present reality.
Their visions changed the course of history.
Exactly.
And it's not just historical figures. He also tells the story about a young man
Okay.
who was trapped in poverty,
Okay.
working long hours in this dreadful factory,
Yeah.
but he had this vision of a better life.
Well,
He spent all of his free time educating himself,
wow.
developing his skills, and cultivating a mindset of success.
I see.
And eventually, his mind became so out of sync with his circumstances.
Yeah.
It was almost like he was propelled out of them.
Okay.
He found new opportunities, new connections, and his life completely transformed.
It's like a classic rags to riches story,
It is.
but he uses it to illustrate the incredible power of vision.
Yeah, and it's such a powerful reminder that our circumstances don't have to define us.
We can always envision something different,
Yeah.
something better, and then take action.
And make that vision a reality.
It all starts with that inner shift,
Right.
the belief that something more is possible.
And then it's about taking consistent action to align your reality with that vision. So what vision do you hold for your own life? What would you absolutely love to see happen?
Right.
And what steps can you take starting today to turn that vision into a reality?
These are the kinds of empowering questions Alan wants us to grapple with because he truly believed that our potential is limitless.
Right.
It's just a matter of tapping into that power through our thoughts.
And I love how he emphasizes that this power is available to everyone.
It's not some elite club.
Right. It's a human birthright.
We all have the capacity to shape our lives through our thoughts. And he doesn't just leave it at that.
Right.
He actually gives us practical tools for cultivating a more empowering mindset.
Yeah.
It's not just about wishful thinking.
Right.
It's about understanding how our thoughts work and then consciously choosing the thoughts that will lead us to where we want to go.
Right. So like becoming the architect of your own mind.
Oh, I like that.
You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint, right?
Very true.
Well, Alan is giving us the blueprint for building a mind that can create a truly extraordinary life.
And that's what makes this book so timeless.
It's not just a feel-good pep talk.
Yeah, it's a profound exploration of the power of thought, filled with practical wisdom that we can apply to our lives today.
It's so
I
exciting.
know, right?
And we're just getting started.
Oh, there's more.
There's so much more to explore in As a Man Thinketh.
Think it on.
Okay, so in the next part, we're going to delve into the importance of cultivating calmness of mind,
Calmness of mind.
which Alan describes as one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and I'm curious to hear more about how calmness relates to success and well-being.
Me too, especially in our fast-paced world.
Yeah, it almost seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does.
In our fast-paced, always-on world,
Yeah.
to cultivate this calmness.
Yeah, but Alan saw calmness not as weakness, but as the ultimate sign of self-mastery.
Interesting.
It's the ability to remain centered and peaceful, even when the world around you is in chaos.
And how do we achieve that kind of inner peace?
Right.
Is it something we're born with,
Yeah.
or is it something we can cultivate?
That's a great question, and it's something we'll explore in depth as we continue our deep dive into As a Man Thinketh. But I can tell you this, Alan believed that calmness is a skill, not a trait.
Okay.
It's something we can all develop through practice and self-awareness.
Wow, that's really encouraging.
I think so too.
I'm definitely ready to learn more about that.
Me too. And I think you'll be surprised by how much practical wisdom Alan has to offer on this topic. He really breaks it down in a way that makes it accessible and achievable for anyone.
Fantastic. Well, stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into As a Man Thinketh, where we'll explore the importance of calmness.
Okay.
We'll delve deeper into the connection between thoughts and actions and unpack even more of Alan's profound insights about the power of the mind.
Sounds great.
This is a journey you won't want to miss.
It's interesting how Alan connects calmness and action.
Right.
It's not about like just sitting around meditating all day.
Yeah.
He's actually really clear that thoughts need to be translated into action.
So not just positive thinking.
Exactly.
You got to do something.
Yeah, he says action is the blossom of thought.
Oh, I like
So
that.
it's not enough to just think those positive thoughts.
Right.
You actually have to like do something with them.
So it's like having all these beautiful seeds, but if you never plant them, they're just going to sit there
Yeah.
and do nothing.
And Alan's really specific about the kind of action that leads to real achievement.
Oh.
It's not just any action. It has to be aligned with your purpose.
Yeah.
And it has to be guided by wisdom and self-control.
He doesn't exactly make it sound easy, though, does he? Oh, I mean, this idea of controlling your thoughts, choosing positivity over negativity, it's all very appealing. But
Yeah.
let's be honest, it's not always easy to do in practice.
True.
I mean, we all have those days where our minds are just like racing with worries and doubts.
Right. And that's where the practice of serenity comes in.
And serenity.
Yeah. Remember, Alan calls calmness of mind one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom.
Right.
And it's not something that we're just like born with.
Hmm.
It's a skill that we develop
Yeah.
through practice and self-awareness.
So how do we actually practice serenity? It
Yeah.
almost sounds like a paradox, right?
It does.
To actively cultivate a state of calmness.
Well, Alan lays out some really practical techniques. And one of the most powerful is simply learning to observe your thoughts without judgment.
Like becoming a detached observer of your own mind.
Exactly. It's like watching clouds drift by in the sky.
Okay.
You don't need to engage with every single thought that pops into your head.
Right.
You can simply just notice it and let it pass.
That sounds really challenging,
It is.
especially when those thoughts are negative or worrisome.
It is. It takes practice.
Yeah.
But it's a skill that anyone can develop.
Mm.
And as you become more adept at observing your thoughts, you start to gain a sense of control over them.
Yeah.
You realize that you don't have to be a slave to your thoughts.
Right.
You can choose which ones to nurture and which ones to let go of.
So it's about creating that space between you and your thoughts. You're not identifying with every thought that comes in.
Right.
You're more like the curator of your own mental museum.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Right.
We get to decide which thoughts we want to give space to, which ones we want to like put on display.
And as we become more skilled at curating our thoughts, we naturally become less reactive to external events, right?
Yeah, we start to see things with more clarity and perspective.
We're not so easily swept away by the dramas of daily life.
Right, we become more grounded, more centered, more peaceful.
And that sense of inner peace, that's where true power lies.
Right.
It's the source of our creativity,
our wisdom.
our ability to make clear decisions and take effective action.
And that's something that Alan emphasizes over and over throughout the book.
Okay.
Calmness of mind is essential for success in all areas of life.
It's not just about feeling good.
It's about achieving your goals, creating a positive impact, living a truly fulfilling life.
I see.
And he even makes this point by saying that, even in the business world, people are drawn to those who radiate calmness, equanimity.
Right.
It inspires trust and confidence.
Like that inner peace becomes a magnet, right? It attracts positive relationships and opportunities into your life.
He paints this beautiful picture of the calm person as a shade-giving tree in a thirsty land, or a sheltering rock in a storm.
Wow.
They become a source of strength and support for others.
That's beautiful. It really makes you think about the ripple effect of our thoughts.
Right.
It's not just about us. It's about how our inner state
Mm-hmm.
impacts the people around us.
For sure.
If we're radiating anxiety and stress, it's going to affect everyone we interact with.
Right.
But if we're projecting calmness and positivity, that's going to have a positive impact as well.
Absolutely. And it really underscores Alan's belief in the interconnectedness of everything.
Yeah.
He saw humanity as a collective.
Mm.
And he believed that each individual has a responsibility to contribute to the well-being of the whole.
So it's not just about personal growth.
It's about becoming a force for good in the world.
And Alan actually writes, man is buffeted by circumstances so long as he believes himself to be the creature of outside conditions. But when he realizes that he is a creative power and that he may command the hidden soil and seeds of his being out of which circumstances grow, he then becomes the rightful master of himself.
It's like moving from feeling like a victim of circumstance to becoming the architect of your own reality.
I love that, taking back control of your life.
Exactly.
You're not just reacting to what's happening around you. You're consciously creating the experiences you want to have.
And it all starts with recognizing the power of your thoughts.
He says, thought and character are one. And as character can only manifest and discover itself through environment and circumstance, the outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state.
So if we want to change our circumstances, we need to change our thoughts.
But it's not just about positive thinking.
No, it's about aligning your thoughts with your deepest values and aspirations.
Choosing to focus on what you want to create,
Yeah.
rather than what you fear or dislike.
Becoming a conscious creator.
Of your own life.
And Alan gives us really practical guidance on how to do this.
Okay.
He talks about the importance of having a clear purpose,
Right.
focusing your thoughts like a laser beam on what you want to achieve.
And he also emphasizes the need for perseverance.
Yeah, not giving up on your dreams.
Right. Even when we face setbacks.
He says, even if he fails again and again to accomplish his purpose, as he necessarily must until weakness is overcome, the strength of character gain will be the measure of his true success, and this will form a new starting point for future power and triumph.
It's not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it.
Using it as fuel for growth.
And one of the things I find so compelling about As a Man Thinketh is that Alan doesn't shy away from the spiritual dimension.
Right.
He believed that our thoughts aren't just, mental events.
Right.
They have a real power to connect us to something greater than ourselves.
He wasn't just talking about self-improvement.
He saw this as a path to spiritual awakening.
As we purify our thoughts, we become more compassionate.
More forgiving, more understanding.
We start to see the world through a lens of love and kindness.
And that shift in perspective has a profound impact on everything. Our relationships, our actions, ultimately the world around us.
It's a reminder that our thoughts are not just personal, they're a powerful force for social change.
And in a world that's often divided by fear, anger, judgment, Alan's message of love and unity is more relevant than ever.
It's a call to remember our shared humanity, to
Right.
see the divine spark in ourselves and in others, and to cultivate thoughts that build bridges instead of walls.
That's a beautiful vision, and it all starts with taking control of our thoughts.
Exactly. Alan believed that if enough individuals embrace these principles of right thinking,
Yeah,
it could literally transform the world.
like a ripple effect.
One person's positive thoughts and actions inspire others.
Create a chain reaction of good.
And he didn't see this as some, far-off utopia. He believed that this kind of collective transformation is an inevitable outcome of spiritual evolution. He saw humanity as gradually awakening to its true potential,
Moving from darkness to light.
from ignorance to wisdom.
And he believed that our thoughts play a crucial role in this evolutionary process.
They can either accelerate it or hinder it.
So it's not just about creating a better life for
It's
ourselves,
about contributing to a better future.
for all humanity.
That's an incredible thought,
Yeah.
that each of us has the power to contribute to the evolution of consciousness.
And it all starts with the thoughts we choose to cultivate.
Yeah.
That ripple effect, you know? Pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is. It really is.
How our thoughts can contribute to, like, a larger shift in consciousness.
It's almost like
Yeah.
personal growth and social change are all connected.
Totally. And Alan believed that this kind of transformation,
Yeah.
it's not just wishful thinking.
No.
He saw it as this inevitable outcome of spiritual evolution.
Humanity awakening to its true potential.
Right? Like, we're all on this journey together, moving from darkness to light, ignorance to wisdom.
And our thoughts are the fuel, right?
Yeah, they can either accelerate or hinder our progress
Exact.
towards a more enlightened world.
So it's not just about us.
No, it's not just about us.
It's about the future for everyone.
Right. Contributing to a better future for all of humanity.
And that's, I think, where Alan's message gets really inspiring.
Yeah.
It's like a call to action. Become conscious architects, not just of our own lives, but of the world we want to create.
It is a huge responsibility.
It is.
But it's also like an incredible opportunity
Oh, for sure.
to realize that we're not just passive observers, right? We're active participants
We're shaping things.
in the unfolding of human consciousness.
And that's empowering, isn't it?
It is. It takes us out of that victim mentality.
We're not just reacting.
We're in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
So where do we start?
Well, I think Alan would say it all starts with self-awareness, recognizing the power of our thoughts and choosing to align them with our values and aspirations.
It's about becoming conscious gardeners of our own minds, right?
Weeding out the negativity.
Yeah, planting seeds of love, compassion, wisdom.
And as we tend to our own inner gardens,
Yeah.
I think we'll start to see those beautiful flowers blossoming out there in the world.
I love that image.
Brings us full circle, right?
Yeah. Back to Alan's analogy of the mind as a garden.
Yeah.
Our thoughts are not just abstract concepts, they're real forces
Shaping our reality.
shaping our reality.
And by choosing our thoughts wisely,
Yeah.
we can create a life, a world.
That's filled with beauty and joy, meaning.
Exactly. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into James Allen's As a Man Thinketh.
Wow, the time flew by. It really did.
Packed with wisdom, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I love how he ends the book. He says, "Circumstance does not make the man. It reveals him to himself." Such a powerful reminder that our experiences aren't just random.
There are opportunities to learn, to grow,
To become more of who we truly are.
and who we truly are. Divine beings.
Capable of great love, wisdom,
Creativity, that's the message of As a Man Thinketh.
hope, and empowerment.
And so relevant today.
As you go back out into the world, remember the power of your thoughts.
Choose to focus on what's good, true, beautiful,
And watch as your thoughts create those ripples of positive change.
extending far beyond yourself.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive, and keep thinking those good thoughts.